What's up, everybody? Welcome. Going to set out a tweet real quick. Give this a chance to populate. Sent out the tweet. Pre-show hype. What's up, Sean? Welcome. Excited to give away a couple of books. Talk a little Bills football here. Keep it light on this fine Thursday. What's up, Chris? Good to see you in here. Appreciate the hello. I should probably grab a copy of this book. Give me 1 second. Felt like a necessary prop. Oh, here we go. Now we're starting to fill in here. What's up, Cameron, Ryan, Riley, Jeff, Daniel, Mandy, Transfer 33. Welcome. Appreciate y'all being here. Chris, I've enjoyed texting with you as well. What's on the shirt? This is one of my favorite shirts. It's from 26 Shirts, and I'll show it to you, but I'll explain it to you. It says Mafia means family. I guess I'll have to stand up. Boy, this is kind of different. Cool shirt, right? Check it out. I don't know if it's still available, but 26 Shirts, Del Reed. Super good stuff. What's up, Danny, William, Brian? Appreciate y'all being here. So what we're going to do is give away a couple copies of my book, Go Bills. We're going to do a raffle. I have a pretty cool app that we're going to use to randomly select that person. And then we can hang out for a little bit. If you got questions about the Bills or the podcast or anything like that, be happy to stick around for a little bit and talk. Appreciate all the endorsements here. I just got to get rid of my overlay. That can go. Boom. See you later. Appreciate that, Chris. So, yeah, we have launched the Locked On Bills Subtext community. It's been really cool. One-on-one text conversations. Really excited for what it could look like during games and kind of sending out some live thoughts from time to time. What's up, Sarah? Joey M. Never been referred to as that, but now I have. What's up, Stacy? Welcome. Give it just a minute here to get a few more people in here. But if you haven't joined the Locked On Bills Subtext community, you still can. I put a link in the notes for today. You can hop right on over, get in on what we're doing. Bub with 3 goats. Subtext community, that's right. Ryan, what's going on? Appreciate all the support. All right. So let's do the drawing. How about that? And then if you guys have questions about the Bills, I'll be happy to kind of tap into that for a little bit here on this Thursday. Oh, real quick, though. I went ahead and posted tomorrow's episode on YouTube, and I really think it's good. Had Anthony Prohaska from Cover One on, and we got into the weeds with the Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid 12 personnel conversation. And it was really good. If you're struggling to make sense of the Bills' decision to add Dalton Kincaid and what the offense can look like and how they can properly implement it, check out that episode. I think you're really going to like it. Sam Teets, my guy. What's up, dude? Good to see you in here, man. There it is. Chris letting everybody know. Yeah, Anthony's awesome. I'm going to have him on some more. He's really good with scheme stuff. He's really good talking Bills football in general, but his understanding of schemes is really, really, really good. All right. Let's do the drawing. I know that's what everyone's mostly interested in. So what we did here is over the last week, since we launched the Locked On Bills Subtext community, I said anyone that joins or has joined will be entered into a raffle to win a copy of one of my books here, Go Bills. And I'm going to personalize it and mail it to the house of whatever two people win. So I'm excited to do that. If you don't have a copy of this, you can go to Amazon and get you a copy. It's a book that I'm very proud of. It's me telling the story of the Buffalo Bills. I go year by year and break down every single season, whether it was 1962, 1980, 99, 2011, you name it, we covered it. And it's a really good like coffee table book for any Bills fan. So check it out. Go Bills. Let me pull up let me see here. I got to share screen here for this. One second. All right, so everyone should be able to see this, I think. All right, there it is. So we had 101 people sign up for the subtext so far. 101. That's a lot of people. I really appreciate that. And so all of the names are here on this wheel. And so I'm going to click to spin, and we're going to give away 2 copies. And so we'll see who gets it. Here's the first one. Click to spin. Our first winner is going to be Aiden. Sean Cunningham. Sean Cunningham. First winner, Sean Cunningham. Is Sean here in the chat? That'd be cool if he was. Chris, you're on there. I promise you. Everyone's name is on there. Made sure of that. Yo, thank you. Thank you, Sean. What are you teaching that this is part of the opportunities? I love that. All right, so we got Sean. I said we'll do 2, so let's go ahead and do another one. Close this out. We'll spin it again. We have one more winner. All right, Patrick Cleary, the other winner. Any chance Patrick is here? That would be cool. Get rid of the screen share here. Stop sharing the screen. Hello. Welcoming myself back. Everybody that's a subtext subscriber, I promise you, every single one of you was in that. Every single one. Sat there and put in all 101 names today to make sure of it. So Patrick and Sean, congratulations. I'll follow up with both of them through the subtext and find out their shipping information, and I'll get those sent out. Really cool. Glad we can do it. Who's got questions about the Bills? Let's hang out for a little bit here. I like talking about the Bills, so yeah, questions about the NFL, whatever you want to get into, we can chill here for a little bit. I'm excited about tomorrow's episode, as I stated. We're going to have a Memorial Day episode, so if you were wondering, we'll be back again on Monday for you. Excited for the rest of the summer content. I got it all planned out through mid-July. Good stuff down. Really good stuff. I'm excited. Here we go. Chris asks, what are my expectations for Shane Ray? He's a wild card, right? I'm interested to see what he looks like at camp and in preseason to get a feel for, where he's at. But can he beat out Boogie Basham? If the Bills want to roster 5 defensive ends and Von Miller goes to the pup, can he be defensive end 5? Will he be active? I think it's a worthwhile lottery ticket for the Bills to invest in. I'm not sure I can expect anything, right? He hasn't played in the league in a long time, but like I said on the pod when I talked about it, I have at least an ounce of excitement for the addition. I like this comment right here from John. Heard Trey's looking good. Man, I am so excited about Trey White getting back to being Trey White and what that can mean for the defense. It's been a while since we've had a chance to see vintage Trey White, and that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. Here's a good one. Sam Teets, what is the first week Osiris Torrance starts? I don't know. I think that I don't think he's going to be a week 1 starter. I don't. I think it's going to be Ryan Bates. And then it could be a situation where if they're looking for a spark with the offensive line, they want to tinker with some combinations, he can he could be asked to come on and start a little bit like they did with Spencer Brown, right? He wound up starting in week 4 against Houston. But I don't know that he's a week 1 starter, but I think at some point during the season, he'll get that chance if the offensive line needs a little bit of a jolt. What do I think will be the biggest training camp story? It's fun to think about the big training camp story last year. It was Isaiah McKenzie, right? Wasn't that everybody was talking about Isaiah McKenzie and the role that he's going to have and the volume of touches he's going to get? Didn't really work out. What do I think it will be this year? I think everyone's going to be dialed in on Dalton Kincaid. And I think in training camp, he's going to look awesome. I mean, this guy can run routes and catch the football. I think people will be buzzing about Kincaid. I think people are already buzzing about Justin Shorter, but we'll see on that. Danny has one here. Is this the best team Buffalo has had around Josh Allen? Offensively, yes. I think he's got the best offensive talent he's ever had. Pretty clearly. Defensively, I'm not sure it's the most talented defense he's ever had, but it's definitely the best offense. I don't think that's a hot take either. I think it's the deepest group of receivers, running backs, tight ends, and offensive line that he's ever had. Brent asks, what are my thoughts on the AFC East? Seems like a gauntlet. I would agree with you. I think it's going to be a tough division to win. I think if you get 12 wins, I think that's enough to win the division. Pretty soon, I'm going to start really comparing the Bills to these other teams and really seeing where they settle. That's probably going to start next week at some point, and we'll really be able to stack them up. I think the biggest threat to the Bills is Miami. We'll see on the Jets. I mean, everyone's hyped up about Aaron Rodgers. I get it. Aaron Rodgers didn't play good football last year. He's going to be 40 this year. I don't really know where that roster got better either. I think they're going to get healthy and that'll help, but I'm not sure. I mean, they're deeper at receiver, but guys like Alan Lazard and Mecole Hardman, they don't move the needle for me. I think they're probably going to win 9 or 10 games. But Miami, to me, is the team that I'm most concerned about. I'm not sure the Patriots have a winning record. I think we got some follow-up from Sean, who teaches in East Aurora. There you go. There's the answer. Love that. Appreciate that, Sean. I love East Aurora. I think I've said this, if I ever move back to Western New York, which I don't think will ever happen, I would want to live in East Aurora. Jeremy asks about the running back situation. Who do you think will be the running back, or who do you think the running back situation will be now with 2 new running backs? Did a podcast episode on this fairly recently where I tried to break down that market share. And if I'm not mistaken, I had James Cook as the leading ball carrier with around 170, 175 rushes. I think I had Damian Harris at 120. And then Latavius Murray and Nyheim Hines between 30 and 50 carries. Josh Allen will probably carry the ball about 100 times. I think that's kind of the pecking order. And we'll see how things go throughout camp, and that'll give us some more indicators, but that's kind of how I think the pecking order is going to be. Joe, appreciate the kind words on the schedule analysis. My current prediction for the Bills' 2023 record, I stay away from this kind of stuff. I appreciate it in this format. I don't like going game by game. I mean, you can do that and you can arrive to some strange conclusions. And there's always a couple games every year where they're more competitive than you expect. I think the Bills are probably an 11 or 12 win football team, maybe 13. 11 or 12 wins is kind of my expectation. This is a good point here from Ryan. Not that it's a point, it's more of a question. Do I think the Bills being an underdog this season is a good thing? I do, yeah. I'm actually kind of at the point now where I think the Bills might be underrated. You're seeing just a lot of people moving off the Bills, and I don't know what's changed. Went 13-3, lost 3 games by a combined 8 points. I mean, everybody's thinking about the Bengals game where they lost 27-10 at home. I get it, but the roster's better. They've been through more adversity. I mean, everybody in the world picked them to win the Super Bowl last year, and I think everybody feels a little bit burned by that, and they're overcorrecting, but the Bills are still one of the best 5 teams in the league. Beta Jim says, I want us to use more hurry-up offense this year to take advantage of mismatches. Your thoughts on use of hurry-up? We talked about this a little bit on the podcast that is out now on YouTube. It'll be on the regular podcast feeds tomorrow. But I think with the 2 tight ends, you can have defenses in matchup problems more, and it could lead to more hurry-up. I think it's a good thing to sprinkle in from time to time. I don't think you want to live in that type of tempo offense. I think that's dangerous. But I think that you pick your spots and you can use that effectively, especially when you have personnel advantages that you feel like you can take advantage of. And the versatility that the Bills have at their skill position should lend itself to a lot of that opportunity. So I'd hope to see a little bit more hurry up. Chris, where would I rank Sean McDermott amongst the 32 coaches in the NFL? This is because of Ross Tucker. What did you put him at, 22? What in the world? That just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. The list of teams that have been to the playoffs each of the last 4 years is the Bills and Chiefs. That's the end of the list. The Bills have won a playoff game in each of the last 3 years, won their division 3 years in a row. I'd say Sean McDermott probably deserves some credit for that. I don't know. I think he's a top 10 coach, yeah. 22 is a joke. But people know, you got to understand this, like, national media knows that if you poke Bills Mafia, it's going to lead to impressions. And so don't fall for it. Like, who cares about someone else's list of coaches? Like, I don't know. I can't get myself to care that much about it. Tyler, this is a good question. What are the things you look for in news from OTA reports? I look for comments like this. Josh Allen threw a pass in team drills to Dalton Kincaid, who was covered by Matt Milano, because that tells me that it's a first-team rep. I care about things like Osiris Torrance combo blocked with Mitch Morse, right? It tells you it's a first-team rep. I look for those things to tell me where guys are lining up and with what team. And I know that they don't come out and say that, but I'm dissecting the analysis that we get from the beat reporters that are, there to try to find out that type of information. That's what I really care about. This is my dude, Aiden. I appreciate this compliment. On the Lockdown NFL Scouting podcast, we're actually going team by team, and we're analyzing every single roster in the NFL, watching film and talking about their, what their team is. And I think it's something I love to do, but I think being aware of the other issues that exist out there across the NFL gives you better insight for your own team. So I'd encourage everyone to check that out. Yeah, this is a good point here from Mike. I goofed on this, guys. I absolutely goofed on this with the 3 quarterbacks on the roster rule. I took this from the perspective of it being a practice squad protected player, and that's not how it works at all. It's an additional rostered player. So I goofed on that on the podcast. My bad on that. But I don't know. I think that the NFL, as far as there being abuse to that rule, I think the NFL surely thought that through. And the player can only play quarterback. It's not like you can say that if the Bills want to keep Cam Lewis on the roster, they can't say he's a third quarterback and then play him on special teams and defense, right? That there's got to be something to that we don't know. Who's my pick for Mike linebacker? I guess I hope it's Dorian Williams. I just think Terrell Bernard's a better fit to play on the outside. I'm not in love with either option, but I kind of hope it's Dorian Williams. What UDFA do I think will stick on the roster? It's tough for any of them to do it. I mean, the highest profile guys, DJ Dale. That's going to be tough. I don't think any UDFA makes the roster. They'll be on the practice squad, but I don't think any of them make the roster. Sarah, I heard Gabe's been looking good. Granted, it's no pads catch. Sale made a point to say he looks really good, though. I hope to hear that. I mean, Gabe looked good all last offseason, too. And, you know, he had that ankle injury early on. So hopefully he's healthy, ready to roll. We hear so much praise about his work ethic from the coaching staff and the players. Trust me, I know that I've been critical of Gabe Davis, but nothing would make me happier than him having a great season. Chris says if Hunter Renfrow gets cut after June 1st, will the Bills sign him? I mean, maybe. I think the Bills are pretty set at receiver, but I think Hunter Renfrow coming available is something that makes you rethink that. They'll have to pay him. He won't come for, for cheap. He's a good player. Predictively, though, I mean, if I think that's the nature of the question, I don't think the Bills will sign him. Scrolling here. Wow, I'm like 11 minutes behind on these comments. Give me a second here to scroll through. Here's a fun one. Most underrated signing on offense and defense. Offense, I would say Trent Sherfield. That's what you said there. Yeah, Sherfield. I think he's going to be a big-time factor as a blocker. And I think that his habits will resonate well with the coaching staff, and he'll get a lot of opportunity. We've already heard Josh Allen talk about that. I think the easy answer on defense is Poona Ford. And who else did they sign? I mean, Poona Ford and Taylor Rapp, is that the only new players outside of like Shane Ray and Cameron Klein? I think I'm right about that. I think that's all they signed on defense. So I'll go Poona Ford. I'm fired up about Poona Ford. Aiden here. What do I think the wide receiver room looks like? Yeah, I think it's straightforward. If everyone's healthy, it's Diggs, Davis, Shakir, Hardy, Sherfield, Shorter. I think that's your 6. Johnny says the Bills need a third linebacker and an edge rusher. I wouldn't hate to see additions there. They don't have a lot of resources. Here, this is which Bills receiver will get a little too much hype this year. It happens every year, right? Whether it's Derrick Rogers or Duke Williams. Isaiah Hodgins had a lot of hype, and so far so good on that. I think it's Justin Shorter. That's the one everyone's hyping up right now. He's got that rocked up body. Jessica, do I think the Bills will keep 7 wide receivers? I don't think they will. I think they'll keep 6. Last year, for a lot of the season, they only had 5. They call someone up off the practice squad. I don't think they're going to do 7 receivers, especially with Kincaid, and I think them viewing him as more of a slot. I disagree. I'll push back on this one, Johnny. Unless a miracle and Shorter is good, Bills did not get much better at receiver. Well, I mean, they lost Isaiah McKenzie. Is that the only player they lost a receiver? Isaiah McKenzie, and you added Deontay Hardy, Trent Sherfield, and of course Justin Shorter. I think that's better. I think that's objectively better. I'll take Hardy over McKenzie all day long. And that's not even accounting for the addition of Trent Sherfield and Justin Shorter. Like, no, I disagree with this. Gabe Davis, over under 850 receiving yards this year. Probably under. Not by much, though. I think he'll be around that, but I think he'll go under. I think a lot of his... he's had 106 targets last year. I think some of that gets spread around to these new receivers. Some of that goes to Dalton Kincaid. Some of that goes to running backs. I think he'll be between 750 and 850. I don't know if I clicked this one correctly. Give me a second here. Here's one. Well, The Bills get another offensive tackle. I don't know if they will. Right now it's Dawkins, Spencer Brown, David Quessenberry, Tommy Doyle, and then like practice squad caliber players. I think that the team's higher on Tommy Doyle than a lot of people want to acknowledge. I think he's got a pretty clear track to making the team. Ooh, this is fun. The Bills wide receiver room is the third best in the division. Miami's the best. It's not the Patriots. So are the Bills receivers better than the Jets? The Jets have Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, McCole Hardman, Corey Davis. Diggs is the best player of any of them. The second best player is Garrett Wilson. Who's the third best player? It's probably Gabe Davis. I don't know if I agree with that. I think Alan Lazard doesn't move the needle for me at all. I think the Bills are second or third. Yeah, I mean, it's not the Patriots. It's the Dolphins, and then the Bills or Jets. I'll lean into the Bills because they have the best player in Diggs. Which UDFA running back should we overhype this year? There's only two, right? It's the one they just got from UCF, whose name escapes me right now, and then the one from Fresno State, Jordan Mims. I'm sure they're all going to run hard in the preseason, and everyone's going to lose their mind. They're probably going to run the ball a ton too. Did I play football? I played high school football, and then I went to college to play football, but I actually walked away from that. I wish I didn't. When I was recruited by several schools, but I've always just loved football. It's been the passion of my life. My brother Frank is a big influence there, who did play college football. And I just dedicated so much time of learning the game, and I still do. Like right now, like I literally have 3 books right here. Let me show them to you. 3 books right here from Bobby Peters. We're going to learn about the Los Angeles Rams offense, the Miami Dolphins offense, and the Detroit Lions offense. And I'm also going to do a lot of work on coverage shells this summer. I mean, I never stop learning. Never stop trying to learn. I still don't feel like I know that much about football. Like I have so much more to learn. So I think it's a constant journey of trying to learn and being intentional about it. Let's see here. Jeremy, I think people are sleeping on Deontay Hardy a bit. I think he'll be a productive receiver with Josh Allen. I think that he's going to matter for this team. I just don't know how much volume he'll get. Like he might be like a 50 target guy, which I think is fine. But I don't know that he'll get more than 50 targets. So if that's what you mean by productive, then okay, I'll mesh with that. 35, 40 catches, something like that. William says, here's a fun question. People always ask if you could bring a Bills legend, who would it be? What if you could add one active player from each of the AFC East teams to this year's roster? Ooh, okay. I like that. Give me a second. My back is sore. I'm not going to lie. We did some crazy workouts today, and my back is killing me. So sitting up in this chair is a real challenge right now. What player would I take from each AFC East team? All right, let's start with the Patriots because they have the least amount of good players. So it won't be hard. I don't love this team. I guess you have to pick Matthew Judon, right? He's probably their best player. So give me Matthew Judon. From the Dolphins, probably Tyreek Hill, right? Like that's their best player. I'd want their best player. From the Jets, I'd take Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle. So there's the answer. Tyreek Hill, Quinnen Williams, and Matthew Judon. If y'all have different answers, I'd like to hear that. That's a fun question. Oh, this is a good one, Bub. Who is winning the Bills Podcasters Dynasty League? I'm the reigning champ. I won it last year. So Bruce Nolan won it. We're in our fourth year. We're entering our fourth year. So the first 2 years was Bruce Nolan, and then I won it this past year. So I'm the reigning champ, and I intend to repeat as the champ. What's up with this? This is Johnny making a good point here. Nationally, we think Josh Allen's great. Most think he's mid when I talk to him. What do you think? Josh Allen's the second best quarterback in the league. And if you don't agree with that, he's no less than third. If you want to put Mahomes and Burrow ahead of him, okay, I'm not going to fight that. He's no less than third. I don't know. People have really turned on the Bills. Okay. What's changed? The rest of the AFC has improved? Because Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets? Is that what we're talking about? Where'd the Bengals get better? What position? What about the Chiefs? Where'd they get better? I don't know. Chiefs got questions at offensive tackle. They lost Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. The Jets got better because they got Aaron Rodgers. It's a good question here about Medikevich. Do I think the Bills keep Medikevich with the new rule change? I think they'll keep him this year, but he's an expiring contract. Will they re-sign him? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, especially with like Balin Spector, Dorian Williams, Terrell Bernard, like two of them are not going to start. You feel like that's enough special teams impact to not have to pay Tyler Medikevich like $3 million a year to cover kicks. But they might prioritize kick return, and he's really good at that. He's good at covering punts too, so he's had a C on his jersey for a couple of years too. Oh, Sam, I'm not touching that. Wide receivers, like, it's hard for them to get into the Hall of Fame, especially now. Like, there's been a log jam at receiver. I think Stephon Diggs will have to perform at a high level for like several more seasons and then do like really special things in the postseason and like be a multiple Super Bowl winner. It's going to be tough for these receivers. Ooh, this is fun. Who's the NFL coach you'd want to have a beer with the most, and why is it Dan Campbell? Okay, so obviously I would pick Sean McDermott because I would want to talk to him the most. But if I can't pick Sean McDermott, would it be Dan Campbell? Maybe. Andy Reid would be fun too. Brian Daboll would be fun too. There's a lot of good answers here. I think it's more like which ones wouldn't you want to? Bill Belichick would be very high on that list of not wanting to hang out with. He seems like he would not be fun at all. Pete Carroll, no thanks. That'd be a hard pass. Jonathan Gannon with the Cardinals. He looks like a complete snooze. Do we overrate Josh or rest of the nation underrate him? I think he's, I don't know. Do people not think he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the league? There's a couple. Who's this? The guy from The Athletic, Michael, whatever his name is. Who cares? I don't know. I think most people that understand football know that Josh Allen's one of the best 5 players in the league and the top 3 quarterback. This is fun. Good question here from Jessica. I feel like the NFL caught up with the Dolphins offense last year. Do you? They certainly challenged them with some of those press coverage looks and clogging up the middle of the field, but I think they're going to evolve too. You know, I think they're aware of that, and they went out and got a slot player in Braxton Berrios. They got more speed in their backfield than Devin A-Chain, player they drafted. I think they're going to want to try to get their tight ends going a little bit more. I think that there's areas that they can evolve too. It's about their counterpunch, right? Same thing with the Bills and Ken Dorsey. What's the counterpunch? They got a off season to figure it out. This is a good question. Who's a player that I'm a little higher on than the rest of Bills Mafia? And who is a player you are a little lower on? I think the player I'm higher on is probably Spencer Brown. I think most people are in a pure panic mode about him being the right tackle, and I'm prepared to see how it looks. I'm ready to see him have a good season. Who's a player I'm a little lower on? Nothing really comes to mind. I don't know. I don't know who I'm lower on. Maybe Gabe Davis? I don't know. How many Bills hats do I have? I get this question a lot. I guess like 25 or 30. I just got this is my newest one. I got this one this week. Cream colored hat. Figured it'd be nice to add to the repertoire. Yeah, I agree with that. Preach. Preach, bub. Preach. Yo, Brad Smith, Bills legend Brad Smith. I can tell you right now that I'm personally working on hip. I've been doing a lot of very deliberate stretches for my own hips in the last few months, and I've had a lot of progress, but I'm certainly trying to develop fluidity right now in my own life. You can certainly stretch and build strength in your hips and in your hip flexors, but I don't think. I mean, they're just not built that way. They're 220 pounds and sinking hips and getting in and out of breaks snappy and quickly is just that's tough. I think they're always going to have to fight that. Like even like players like DK Metcalf or Calvin Johnson, like those guys weren't super fluid, right? You just have to win in a different way. And if they're going to be volume players for you, you have to be able to compensate for some of those challenges. Ooh, Sarah with some shade on the Dolphins. I don't know. Tua was healthy last year. I think he played well. I mean, certainly there were some throws that he'd like to have back, and doesn't have a big arm, and he'll underthrow some stuff. But I mean, that offense was really good when he was healthy. And I think that's a big question with Tua. Can he stay healthy? Have I had this is fun. Did I have a chance to analyze some things that I was right and wrong about in 2022 draft? Do you know after a year? I don't think you know enough. I was right about Tariq Woolen, I can tell you that. If you guys remember, I was like totally in with the Bills drafting him in the first round. Dude falls to the 5th round, winds up being unbelievable for the Seattle Seahawks. I think right now I'm not looking so good with my Malik Willis. I liked Malik Willis. I think I had like a 2nd or 3rd round grade on him. It's not like I had a 1st round grade on him, but I was pretty high on Malik Willis, but that doesn't look so good right now. Do I think Alex Austin makes the final roster? I think he needs help. I do. I think that he's a guy that will need an injury or two to make the roster. I think he's more of a practice squad guy. Yeah, that's a good point here, Bub. Because I was wondering what the heck's going on. Like, they brought back Rudolph, they extended Trubisky, and then they announced the rule. And so I guess that makes sense. Here's a good one. Understood your explanation of the 1 tech and the 3 tech defensive lineman. What in the world is a 5 tech? A 5 tech is a defensive lineman that lines up on the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle. So Greg Rousseau is a 5 tech. Clemson legend Hunter Renfrow. Thank you, Mike. Scrolling through here. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments and I'm responding to them and I'm not putting them on the thing. Other than J17, has being drafted anyone with a shot at the Hall of Fame? Probably not. Not yet. Let me see here. Wow, I am so far. You guys have filled this chat up a lot faster than I'm getting to it. Isaiah Bowser. See, I'm at the point now. Bobby Peters' book. Yeah, dude does good work. I like it. I enjoy them. His charting is really good. He's got to fix the typos though. There are too many typos in his book, and it takes away from his credibility. This is a fun question. I would say no. I think it makes me like it even more. It makes me look at it through a different lens, and I appreciate the game at a deeper level. And this morning I woke up and I watched. We did our podcast today on the Jaguars, and I sat there and watched like their two playoff games against the Chargers and the Chiefs, and I watched another game that they played earlier in the year, and it's super fun. I love it. Let's see here. I know I can't be in here too much longer because this studio has to be used by someone else. So we'll go for a couple more minutes. Scrolling down. Let me see. I got to get kind of caught up here. If you guys saw what was going on here, I'm like way behind on the chat. So I feel like I'm talking about something and you guys are talking about something else. How long did I live in Buffalo? I lived in Buffalo from 1986 when I was born to 1996. There's no super chat option. We don't do super chats on the Locked On YouTube channels. I appreciate you being willing to do that, but no super chats on Locked On. Oh, that's coming up. I appreciate that. Thank you. How's the little one? Big Bills fan yet? She's 3, and every time football is on and it's not the Bills, which it's pretty common around here. I don't just watch the Bills. She hits me with where's Josh Allen? Where's Josh Allen? So she's definitely aware of Josh Allen. She knows Stephon Diggs. I think she knows that her dad really likes the Bills, and so that we connect over it. But she's 3, so doesn't have like a huge attention span. But there's been times where she's like wants to watch Josh Allen highlights, and I put them on and we talk about it. So we're trying. I hope she loves football, but not sure. Oh, Jessica, you are speaking my language with this. I've been trying to bring this up for years. Ron Rivera has been an NFL head coach for 12 seasons. He's had 3 winning records, 1 500, and the other 9 seasons have been losing records. I mean, look at the Panthers. Like the further it became his operation, the worse they got. And he's been completely mediocre with the Washington Commanders. I don't get it. I mean, he's a great guy. I get it. Like, good dude, but I'm not. His results have just not been there. But this guy is entering his 13th season as an NFL head coach. My favorite all-time Bills player, not currently on the roster, Bruce Smith. It's got to be Bruce Smith. If it wasn't Bruce Smith, I would tell you it's Eric Moulds. If it wasn't Eric Moulds, I would tell you it's Aaron Schobel. If it wasn't Aaron Schobel, I'd tell you it's Kyle Williams. Let's see. Let me get to one more on here. What's in the mug? This? I can tell you every single time that you see this, it's water. It's always water. There's never anything exciting in there. It's only water. I drink like a soda, or I guess a pop, right? We say pop. You have to stay on stream until you no, Sam, that'll take the rest of my life. I drink pop like I'll have like with dinner, and that'd be about it. The Rebecca Jean update. Okay, I think I started to get into that, and I never really did. So she's 3. It was her last day of preschool today. She is very energetic. She's very into the things that she does. Like she has activities. She has swim. She has dance. She has gymnastics. She's really liking gymnastics and doing somersaults and all that stuff. She's learning to write some of the numbers. That's pretty cool. She's very outgoing, very talkative. She very much wants the things that she wants. She's pretty demanding, I will say. She's a good kid. Super proud of her. She's awesome. She had her first dance recital. Oh, that was so cool. On Saturday, it was her first ever dance recital, and that just made me melt. It was awesome. Soda is correct. I mostly say pop, but I don't want to have the conversation with people here that say soda. You say pop, they want to correct you. So I just say soda so I don't have to deal with it. 3 and doing gymnastics? Absolutely. She loves it. Yeah. She goes in there and they do like line drills, and then they do somersaults and back bends and handstands, and they go on the trampoline. She loves it. All right. Oh, this is real water. I promise you. I don't there it is. Look. Water. H2O. All right, we got to wrap it up here because like I said, the studio, someone else has to use it here, and I want to be courteous to them on the Locked On Network. I appreciate everybody being here. It's not vodka, Bub. I'm telling you, it's water. It's absolutely just water. This is fun. Every time I go live, I say I need to go live more often, so I'll try to do that. I got to get in contact with our winners on the Go Bills giveaway. If you want to join the Locked On Bills Subtext community, there's a link in the show notes for today. Check out the episode that I just posted on YouTube with Anthony Prohaska covering Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, 12 personnel. It was awesome. We'll have a podcast for you on Monday, the Memorial Day, so don't worry about that. We'll be there for you. This is really fun. I'm sorry I couldn't get to every single question. I tried to, and then I realized I was like 20 minutes behind, and probably skipped a lot of stuff there in the middle. So this is fun. Thanks for always coming in here. It means a lot to me that you guys would be interested in hopping in and hanging out and talking Bills football. I never take that for granted, so I love it. Tomorrow, I am going to be doing another live stream on Bleacher Report, 7 o'clock, actually, 7 o'clock Eastern time on the Bleacher Report app. They have tasked me with coming up with 3 different trade ideas for the Buffalo Bills to explore. So I'm going to unpack that for you on Bleacher Report tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, folks, this has been fun. Thank you. Go Bills.